Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to take our first look at international business and really lay the fundamentals, the foundation for international business and the concepts within. So make sure you get out your pen and paper, make sure you follow the STORM philosophy for note-taking, sit back and enjoy. So what are we going to learn today? What are our objectives? Well, we are going to really try and define what we mean by international business. And to do so, we're going to really try and differentiate from the idea of a domestic business or traditional business model. We're going to take a look at examples of these various international business activities and really have a firm grasp on international business going forward. So first off though, let's really identify what we mean by business. I know many of you understand what this concept is. Many of you engage in business activities every single day, but really let's define it and make sure everyone's on the same page. So a business, we often call it an enterprise or a firm. It's whenever an organization of some sort engages in a trade of goods or services or both to consumers. To really make it simple, think about your own lemonade stand that you had when you were a 6-year-old. Right? That was a business. You were operating a business. You sold lemonade, which was a good, to prospective customers, and they would in turn provide you with some sort of currency, something of value, most likely money. Many of you probably tried selling lemonade at $10 a pop and failed at operating your own business. But whether or not you failed, you still engaged in a business. And most businesses engage in what you tried, profit, right? Most businesses try and acquire profit, and so they sell their goods or services above what it costs them to produce. However, many businesses also operate as non-profit entities, and therefore they sell their goods or services at a level that just covers the costs of operating their business. So whether or not you engage in business such as Walmart or you are Goodwill, you are both businesses. So what makes a business an international business? Well, it's very, very simple. As soon as a business, an organization, engages in business activity across regions or country or political borders, they all of a sudden have become an international business. Many private and governmental businesses are international. Any sales business, international. They'll sell their goods across borders. Investments take place over borders, right? Logistics, traveling or getting goods and services and resources to and from businesses, again, across borders. And transportation, again, often takes the form traveling across borders. And so as soon as that happens, businesses all of a sudden become international businesses. Very, very simple. So let's take a look at it from another perspective and really differentiate it from a domestic business. The traditional business model was domestic businesses. These were businesses that operated within a country's borders. For Canada, we saw domestic businesses thrive over the last hundred, I should say, years. Right? These businesses sold their goods and services to Canadian customers. They would purchase their resources from other Canadian companies that operated within the country's borders, right? And they would make investments to various organizations within the country's borders as well. So these were domestic businesses, and therefore they operated in a domestic market. So how does a business become an international business? Well, as mentioned, as soon as that money, as soon as that transaction takes place across a country's borders, well, all of a sudden it becomes an international business. So if a Canadian retailer starts selling their goods and services to, I don't know, someone in Australia, then it's an international business. As soon as a Canadian company purchases resources from, let's say, a company in Russia, then it's an international business. Or if a company in Canada invests in a business, let's say in Brazil, again, it becomes an international business. So what makes a business an international business? Well, here are some examples. Imagine a Canadian retailer opens a store in another country. Or maybe a US retailer, I don't know, Le Target, let's say, opens a store in Canada. It's a international business. What if a business operates a manufacturing plant overseas? I mean, many Canadian companies do this and operate manufacturing plants oftentimes in places like China. What if you export your products to foreign countries? Right? That's an international business, or import products from a foreign business. I mean, look in your wardrobe. How many of you have t-shirts or jeans made in Canada? I would say probably, I don't know, 0. That's how many of you would probably have jeans or t-shirts made in Canada, right? You've engaged in international business, or have purchased from a business, I should say, that is an international business. And the last one, investing. Many businesses invest in other businesses, in other organizations, right? And these investments travel across borders and therefore become international businesses. Well, that brings us to our end of the lesson. But here's a question I want to leave you with. I want you to think about this. I want you to really think about this. How important is it to be an international business in today's world? Can you be just a domestic business, or do you have to be an international business? Right? Today, business is changing, society is changing, the world is changing, and therefore how important is it to be an international business? Right? So think about this question, respond to it, right? Make sure your notes are in order, you've summarized it, and you've posed your own question. And that's it, that's all, that's everything. We'll see you tomorrow.